Hey guys, tonight we step into a tiny medieval village where the air smells of wood smoke long before sunrise. The ground is damp beneath your worn shoes, and the nearest thing to a hot shower is a pot hanging over a fire that has been burning since yesterday. If you arrived with a fluffy towel, a bottle of shampoo, and expectations of a relaxing bath before bed, well, you probably won't survive this lifestyle for very long. Not because of dragons or knights, but because even warming enough water for a decent wash is about to become your greatest daily challenge. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. And while you're here, leave a comment telling me where you're listening from and what your local time is. It's always fascinating to see how many different corners of the world gather together for these quiet nighttime journeys. Now, dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's ease into tonight's journey together. The village wakes before the sun does. You open the rough wooden door of your cottage and cool morning air brushes across your face. A rooster announces the day with complete confidence, even if nobody asked for his opinion. Thin streams of smoke rise from neighboring homes as families stir old embers back to life. Your first thought is simple: a bath would be nice. That thought disappears almost immediately. There is no bathroom waiting inside, no faucet, no water heater humming quietly in the background. Every bucket of water has to be collected by hand, carried home, and used carefully because every drop represents time and effort. There is no bathroom waiting inside, no faucet, no water heater humming quietly in the background. Every bucket of water has to be collected by hand, carried home, and used carefully because every drop represents time and effort. You walk toward the village well, joining several neighbors, already waiting with wooden buckets. Nobody seems particularly excited about the chore, yet nobody complains much either. This is simply how every morning begins. The well is the center of more than water. It is where news spreads faster than carts can travel. Someone talks about a missing goat. Another mentions that the mill wheel needs repairing. A child proudly claims to have seen a fox during the night. Whether that fox actually existed is another question entirely. By the time your bucket is full, your arms already feel heavier than they did a few minutes ago. Now imagine carrying enough water not just for drinking and cooking, but also for a luxurious full-body bath. You quickly realize why that rarely happens. Historians generally agree that most medieval villagers did not completely avoid washing. Instead, they focused on practical cleaning whenever possible. Hands, faces, and the most exposed parts of the body received attention far more often than full immersion in a tub. That sounds surprisingly sensible. After all, if collecting water takes half your morning, using dozens of buckets for a relaxing soak suddenly feels less appealing. Back inside your cottage, breakfast is already underway. The village simply cannot spare that much time. Instead, small moments of cleanliness fit naturally between larger responsibilities. A splash of cool water over your face, a damp cloth, wiping away dust from your neck, washing your hands before eating, if water allows. Simple habits, small comforts, enough to make the next task a little more pleasant. Of course, modern movies often picture medieval villages as endlessly filthy places, where nobody cared about hygiene at all. Reality is more complicated. People understood the value of appearing respectable, especially during church gatherings, market days, or important celebrations. Looking reasonably clean showed discipline and self-respect, even if reasonably clean looked quite different from today's standards. Scholars still argue whether later stories exaggerated medieval dirtiness to make earlier centuries seem more primitive than they really were. Like many popular myths, the truth lives somewhere in the middle. The day stretches onward. Children chase each other between cottages. A blacksmith's hammer rings across the village. A dog dozes happily beside a wagon, contributing absolutely nothing to agricultural productivity, but somehow remaining everyone's favorite employee. As afternoon slowly fades toward evening, smoke once again rises from every chimney. You return home tired. Your hands are dusty. Your boots are muddy. Your shoulders ache from work. A full bath still sounds wonderful, but the fire already needs tending. Supper must be cooked. Tomorrow's tools require attention, and darkness arrives sooner than expected. you settle for washing your hands and face with cool water from a wooden bowl. It isn't luxurious. It isn't even warm, yet somehow it feels enough. Because in this quiet little village, comfort isn't measured by long baths or scented soap. It's measured by dry socks, warm bread, a sturdy roof, and knowing tomorrow's water is already waiting in the bucket beside the door. Word count, approximately 1,050.